Morning, everyone.
Good
Rabbi.
morning.
We're learning Mishna Nedarim, Parak Vav, Chapter 6, Mishna Dal, and Mishnah 4. Okay. Right, continuing with different expressions that a person can make when making a neder. What exactly do they include? Again, based on how people use these words. So in this case, the Mishnah begins, Dagim Shani Tayim. He makes a neder, and he says, fish and fish. One is singular, one is plural. The word dug is a singular fish. Dugim is many fish. So the expression he says is dugim. Fish and, we'll just use, fishes. Okay? That I'm not going to taste. That's his nether. Asr bahen. He's going to be forbidden to them, Indian fish. Ben gedolim ben katanim, whether large, whether small. Ben meluchim ben tefilin, whether salted or unsalted. Ben chaim ben mevushalim, whether they are raw or cooked. So here they explain the word fish in singular refers to large fish that are sold individually, and the plural form of dagim, fishes, refers to small fish which are sold in large quantities. By mentioning both the singular and plural forms, the person applies a prohibition to all types of fish, which would imply to me, at least, that if all his neder was dug she'eni tayim, that would mean big fish. And dugim, if we just said dug, would be small fish. That's what it would seem to be implied here. But the case of the Mishnah is where he said both. All right. Now, in this case, where we said that he said fish and fishes, and we said he's forbidden all type of fish, whether they are large, small, salted, unsalted, cooked, raw, sushi. Umutter betaris terufa uvetzir. However, this person is going to be permitted to eat what's called taris trufa, which means chopped taris. Taris was a type of fish that it was chopped up before being sold. And seer is fish juice. Fish juice means a juice that comes as a fluid that oozes out of the fish when it's salted. Now, so the Mishnah is saying that when this person used the word, dug, that will not include... that will not include this chopped up taris, even though it's a fish too. But as the explanation is given is that when you talk about taris, you don't call it fish, you call it taris. Fish in general are called fish. And that's why when he says fish, all these types of fish are going to be included. And all types of fish seemingly. But once you say taris, but when you say dug, you're not referring to taris. Because taris is something people do not call taris dug. They don't call it fish. They call it taris. And therefore, that is not included in his neder, nor is seer. Seer means, again, the juice that comes out of the fish when it's salted. And that's not called dug. That's not called fish. That's called seer. That's called the fish juice. Now, in this part of the Mishnah, there is a word that does not appear until later, which Amar Tanura sticks in at this point. There's something called seer, which we call it fish juice, and there's something called murias. Murias is fish fat. And both these juices and fats are fluids that ooze out of the fish when it's salted. So in this case, both the chopped taris, the fish juice, the fish fats are not included in the nether. Okay. Now, next case. Hanoida min atzachana. Person makes a vow from tzachana. What's tzachana? Tzachana is a mixture of different types of chopped fish. That's what tzachana is. Okay? So that he didn't say the word dug. He said tzachana. So we say, asr betaris trufa. He is forbidden to eat the chopped up taris, because that's also a chopped fish. So even though tzachana is different, seems to be a mixture of different chopped fishes, that would not exclude taris trufa, the chopped taris, and therefore he's forbidden in that. My understanding is that fish that's not chopped up, he's not forbidden in. Doesn't say that, but that's my understanding, because he's only talking about chopped fish. And we say that includes the chopped taris, umutter b'tzir v'murias, but he will remain permitted from any kind of fish juice or fish fat that comes out of these fishes. Why? because in his net you only mentioned fish. And since he only mentioned fish, there's no fish in these juices. It's just the juice. And therefore, it's going to be permitted. It's not included in the neder. Now, hanoider mitaris terufa. A person makes a neder, and his wording is taris terufa. He says he forbids himself from chopped taris. There, says the Mishnah, aser betzir ubemurias. He will be forbidden in the fish juice and the fish fat that comes out of this fish. Why? The Ratunur explains, because when you say taris, when you mention this fish, taris is always chopped. I don't know why, but it is. It is always all chopped. So you don't have to say chopped taris. Taris is chopped. Mm-hmm. And therefore, the fact that he now said taris, he also included the word chopped. Therefore, he means to include more than just the taris itself. He means to include also the fish juice and the fish fat. So therefore, in the case before, he didn't say anything extra. He just said tzachna, chopped fish. Okay, that's not going to include the fish juice and the fish fat. But here, where he also said chopped taris, which is superfluous, therefore we say he means to include more, and that means to include the other parts of the fish, which is the fish juice and the fish fat. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.